all for one or one for all. Like, yo, this episode, All Might kicking fucking ass. Honestly, it showcased, first of all, the promise that a lot of these characters have to become great heroes. Don't get me wrong, it also showcases the difference in levels. Like what All Might did in this episode, going just absolutely ballistic. It showcased, yeah, there's still a long road ahead of all of these mofos. Todoroki, Bakugo, Deku. There's a long road ahead, but it also showcased promise, because when Noumu was there, you know, pretty much digging his fingers into All Might, and it's kind of interesting. I'm curious if they knew about the bruise that he has right there, or it was just coincidental that he was digging his fingers right into All Might's side right there. But when Todoroki came and froze him and Bakugo hit the shadow motherfucker and shit like that, it showcased that there's a lot of promise for these students. And if there's other schools around there, or other kids that are trying to be heroes, basically other classrooms and different things of that nature, they're not gonna have the same experience as these kids. You gotta look at it like what they're going through right now is a real situation. This is a dire situation. So you gotta think as well, these kids are getting more experience than any other kids are gonna get, because they're on the battlefield right now. They're living shit that is gonna really happen when they become heroes someday. And don't get me wrong, yeah, I felt as though the art and animation dipped quite a few different times in this episode, especially the art when All Might was fighting against Noumu. The art really got simplified and stuff like that, but personally, I thought it was fucking hype. Yeah, it wasn't the most shiny, spectacular thing in the world, but All Might fucking going crazy. And yet again, I feel as though every episode has been showcasing All Might is getting weaker. He even says, in my prime, I could have beat this motherfucker in 5 hits. 5, and it took him 300 hits to take this motherfucker out now. So there's a steep decline in power and stamina at this particular point with All Might. And honestly, this episode, to put it simple, it was kick-ass. It was yet again a very good episode of My Hero Academia. It wasn't outstanding at 10 out of 10, but it still felt very good, and it showcased again that these kids are gonna be great someday, but they're still not at that level yet. And All Might surpassing his limits and shit like that, that was great too. I mean, honestly, it just left me more so questioning about that guy with the hands on his face, Shigaraki or whatever his name is, when he was like, Dad, I'm sorry, or something like that, and then when he put the hand on his face, he was calm. It's like, I want to know that dude's story. Why is he so weird? I mean, with the creepy voice and shit like that, and why is it that that Noumu motherfucker is seemingly being controlled by him? It's almost as if that Noumu dude has no mind at all, and Shigaraki's calling all the shots for him. So I'm kind of curious about that as well. And yeah, this episode is like, okay, the villains, they're not quite at that level where they'd be terrifying, but at the same time, what they did with this Noumu guy gave the #1 hero basically a run for his money. So if they had more, let's just say there was 3 of those Noumu guys, it would have been a wrap. So they do have ways of countering the heroes. It's just kind of like they're still in a desperate struggle. So it was kind of interesting to see the dynamics, that there are differences between the powers of the heroes and villains. Like, honestly, if it wasn't for that Noumu dude, the villains would have got their asses whipped. It was Noumu that saved the day for them, that gave them a fighting chance. But even then, All Might 120%, baby, that was hype as fuck. I would have say an 8 out of 10 for this episode. Yeah, the art and animation again could have been a lot prettier. This, that, and the third, and it was just mainly All Might kicking ass, but it was still very good stuff. And honestly, I'm gonna miss Academia. Only one more episode left, and this episode left me wanting more, which is sad, because we're gonna have to wait a while if they do a season 2. But let me know what you guys thought of the episode. What do you think about the All Might versus Noumu fight? What do you think about that Shigaraki guy? I really want to know his backstory, seeing him with the hands and talking about, Dad, I'm sorry, and all this, that, and the third. Like, you can see that the motherfucker has some bad daddy issues. And your overall thoughts of the episode? My Hero Academia kicking ass. I love the dynamics, the relationship between All Might and Deku not giving a fuck, jumping in, and just everything about it, the teamwork and stuff. It really is shonen material at its finest in anime form. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm Forneverworld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.